My name is Russell Martin. I'm the founder of Virtually Mine and the VR Space. I founded Virtually Mine in 2014. Originally it was an equipment hire company. It slowly turned into an events and content creation company focusing on VR, and we're beginning to focus on training in the workplace and in education. So if we look at the workplace now and how VR is used in the workplace, architecture being the first port of call, really. I went to a friend's architecture firm, and he wanted to show his boss the headset, the Oculus Rift DK1. It had just been released. No one really knew what it was, although people had kind of heard what it was. Really, it's still unclear. No one had really used it. We took it over to him, and he was really skeptical. He was like, no, it's a gimmick, not interested. I'll stick to what I've been using for the last 10, 20 years. We put his model that he was working on inside the headset. He put it on, and then for the next hour, he just spoke to himself as he made notes and looked around this 3D model that he just built. He took it off and then ordered one online. He could go around the building, say, okay, the lighting's not right over there, adjust different elements, this doorway's not big enough. And obviously, you don't want to have to build the building to find out these issues. Obviously, ultimately saving him a lot of money. But we've also done a lot of sort of inventories for real estate companies, tours of developments, selling them overseas before they've even been built. And a really useful application. I'll include all the links to what I mentioned at the end. Iris VR. So you mentioned earlier about Revit. You can import Revit files directly into Iris VR. It's a web-based application. So if you've got the headset connected to the PC, all you've got to do is upload your 3D drawing, and you can view it straight away in virtual reality. In medicine, so we've seen this quite a lot, and obviously the practical uses of this are vast. Here we have a woman operating on a knee. It looks like she's got like a syringe in there at the moment, but typically that tool could also be used as a scalpel. So there's this one-to-one relationship between what she's using and what she's actually seeing, and she can interact with sort of someone's knee, for example. Obviously with that there's no risk. You can practice complex surgeries. Outside of direct surgery, there's also therapy. So VR is being used for phobias. We have people in here probably once every 2 weeks. They're younger people that have some sort of motor issue, and the therapist said trying to get these kids to do their exercises properly is sometimes hard work because their mind wanders and they lose interest. Whereas if you put them in a VR headset, you put them in an application like Tilt Brush, and you ask them to draw the biggest circles they can for a couple of minutes, they're most likely to do it. They get really into it. It helps with coordination and all sorts. Product design. So again, this is something we've used quite a lot. We've created a few car generators. So essentially these guys are, they have a base model of a car, and they're going ahead and they're changing colors, wheel styles, that kind of thing. And with product design, if you get a few people in a space, like in a meeting scenario, you can check the new Coke can design that you've done instantly and get a feel for it as if it was really there. So there's instant edits and results. Marketing, so this is something we do a lot as well. So this is a 360 video we made for Land Rover. They were launching their new phone, the Land Rover Explorer phone, and they wanted to show off some of its features. So what we ended up doing, we ended up getting a BMXer or a mountain bike rider. We connected that camera there, the GoPro Fusion, to his helmet, and he simulated, as if he was simulated a journey through the woods with the phone. He went to different areas, dropped the phone in a puddle, for example, picked it up, brushed it off, checked his navigation, and rode around with it. This video was then used at call centres. We put people on a bike, put them on a headset, again using the stimulus of an actual bike there always helps. And they kind of like rode around this park with the headset on. It was a 360 video. It wasn't like true VR, but you know, people were really excited to get this on their site, and it gets them excited for the product. Essentially, it gets them to encourages them to sell it. Meetings and collaboration. So there's some applications called VR Chat and Oculus Rooms. These are essentially online chat rooms where you're going with an avatar. You can meet different people, you can play games. People have done stand-up in there, and you'd have all these weird looking creatures and people, their avatars sort of standing around talking with you. We did a art installation last year. I worked for a client in art installation, and much of it was in this virtual world where the artists had created several different worlds that you could go into, interact with. There was a big gold Buddha in, and my introduction to it was that I had to meet a gentleman in VR Chat online. He was based in Toronto. So I'm in this lobby. I catch myself in a virtual mirror that's there, and I'm this big praying mantis. It's just the default avatar. And then Han Solo comes up to me, points and says, "Are you Russell?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Russell." "Oh yeah, I'm Eric. Nice to meet you, Eric." We had a short chat with Han Solo, and then he pointed his finger. A portal opened up, and he's like, "Okay, follow me." We walked through this portal, and we ended up in the first room that this artist had created, and we navigated between rooms with Han Solo opening portals for me in VR, which was really, really interesting. Yeah, so I think that the social aspect of VR is going to be massive. So training, again, this is something that we're looking at more and more. We've done a little bit of, but you can put someone in a dangerous situation, such as operating a crane or working on railway tracks, with no risk. You can monitor them. Because everything's done digitally, you can get a really accurate score of how well they've done in the application as well, and you can overcome restrictions. So on the rail network, they're obviously always recruiting for new staff, new engineers, and if you are under the age of 18, you can't go on the train tracks. And obviously, if you're going to be an engineer on the train tracks, it helps to be able to get to the train tracks. We created a simulation where students of this course could come down, interact with various objects on these virtual train tracks, as if they were actually there in real life. Obviously, gaining that knowledge and experience, which they wouldn't have been able to do without our help.